Okay. Okay, good afternoon, all of the honorable member of ASEAN Learning Network. Today we are having a meeting. This is the first meeting, the formation of Indonesian chapter. Today we will divide our activity to two sections. The first section is the presentation or the sharing maybe from the ALN Philippine chapter by Dr. Tita. And later on we will discuss about the Indonesian chapter, what should we do in the future. But before we begin, I would like to give the screen to Rector Mangadar to give the welcoming speech. Please, Mr. Rector Mangadar.
Thank you, Fernando. Honorable participant, especially Prof. Tita as the Executive Director of our ASEAN Learning Network and also as the Director for the Philippines chapters and Vice Rector for San Beda University. So always great to see Prof. Tita to join in our very prestigious association or network through ALN in the SEED program. And also would like to extend our gratitude to Honorable Rector, Prof. John. Thank you again for coming, for joining our meeting this afternoon. Pak Iwan, thank you very much from I3L. Ibu Ade Sri, thank you very much again from Bengkulu University. And also our colleagues from Lang Buana will join us and also from ITB. Well, as Pak Fernando said, we are going to have some sort of, let's say, experience, lesson learned from the Philippines chapter within ASEAN Learning Network. The basic idea is also to have more universities in Indonesia to join our network, ASEAN Learning Network. And for the interest, I thought we need to share each other our experience, our knowledge. Let's say about the benefits of joining this network. In line with our national policy about Campus Merdeka, we call it Prof. Tita Indonesia again, Campus Merdeka. Yeah, not really the very definitive definition in English. I don't know exactly. Some people said independent study program, or they officially also said engaged study program, something like that one, yeah, internationally. But the point is giving student freedom to have up to 3 semesters to study outside his or her own universities and study or department. So a student is given the kind of right or opportunity to experience studying process outside their own university. This is a very challenging program now we are dealing in Indonesia. And in this event, I saw we are from different university, from Bengkulu University, I3L, Kalbis, yeah, Unline Zone. Yeah, we try also to manage this kind of, let's say, inter-university program. And we want to bring this one to be more enlarged or to be advanced in the sense of regional territory of ASEAN. So we thank you, Professor Tita. I used to call Ibu, yeah, Prof.
Yes,
Tita.
it's
Thank
okay.
you. Yeah, to share with us, and also from colleagues from San Beda University. We have Greg here. Yeah, we have Rafi also. So great to have you all. And of course, again, we have our colleagues from Kalbis, from ITRL, Bengkulu, and so on. So welcome, and then we share our interest and also our experience in running this kind of program, especially when you talk about ALN, ASEAN Learning Network, with the intention to develop a kind of, let's say, the chapter of Indonesia, Indonesian chapter of ALN. So thank you again for coming. Thank you for sharing. And thank you very much, Prof. Tita and colleagues from San Beda University. Thank you, Fernando. Back to you.
Thank you, Pak Mangadar. I would like to acknowledge the attendance of Pak Bambang Rudito from SBM ITB. Good afternoon, Pak Bambang.
Pak Bambang.
Oh,
Long time no see.
How are you, Pak Bambang?
yeah,
I'm
long
fine,
time.
thank you, I'm fine.
Long time no see.
Yes, it's a long
And
time.
thank you very
Bambang
much.
is stationed in Philippines, right?
You should
Thank
visit
you, Pak
us
Bambang.
again.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Pak Bambang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, without further ado, I'd like to give the screen to Prof. Tita so she can share about the ALN national chapter, especially Philippine chapter. Dr. Tita, the screen is yours.
Okay, before starting, Greg, just have it just like that. So I am honored to be with the esteemed colleagues from Indonesia. I really appreciate your effort, all the rectors here present, especially for this particular concern to really initiate to strengthen the Indonesian chapter. It is really very interesting because Sanbeda is a member of many networks, and there is just very few, I think one or two, with national chapters, and they are doing quite well. While at the same time, those not having chapters are doing well too. So when Fernando here, our Deputy Executive Director, invited me and Prof. Rector Mangadar invited me to share something here. So I decided that given the maximum 20 to 30 minutes, so I promised to speak less. I'm going to share overview of the ALN. Great that our dear Prof. Bambang is around, one of the originals for the ALN. And I'm going to share the overview, and then later I'm going to give some inputs on how we're doing it in the Philippines, like other networks, and perhaps some inputs on how we can help your chapter being one of our most active chapters so far. So Greg, maybe we can proceed. So the framework for discussion notes, as I mentioned earlier, will be the review of the ALN's beginnings, the vision and mission, the members, institutional, individual, the composition of our executive committee, then the ALN organs, Article 6 of the Article of Incorporation. Great that Rector John is with us, our legal advisor. Then the country chapters experiences, particularly during the pre-pandemic activities of the network. And next is strengthening country chapters in the new normal. So I'm going to share a sample of international organization with local country chapter structure, process of their program project planning, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, resources sharing, and fund sourcing, and propose activities with country chapters. Then the next steps. But before proceeding with my formal presentation, I really like what Rector Mangadar mentioned about the Campus Merdica. That is one very interesting program or project that perhaps we can really have a look into and proceed with our partners, especially with our local chapters in the different countries. So let's put that in mind. It's very interesting. Okay, so the ALN was launched in February 2009 at ITB, Prof. Bambang, during the International Conference on Intercultural Management. So the deans, the presidents met there, and then they decided to come up with an organization. So this brought about the ALN. And then the founding members are ITB, Banking University of Vietnam, San Beda, then a college, then UMK, Malaysia, and Asia Research Center, Switzerland, where our founding executive director came from. So total member institutions as of March 2022, we have 13, Indonesia 4, Malaysia 3, Philippines 2, Thailand 3, Vietnam 1. This is taken from the files given to us by Dr. Wee, our former executive secretary. So the vision is to attain practice-relevant academic excellence in socially responsible way for participating institutions through context-based management and economic research, teaching, and practice training. So take note on the academic focus, and for the mission to develop and implement context-based research, teaching, and practice training projects and programs in collaboration with participating institutions to produce students who are socially responsible and culturally competent in the evolving context of Asia. So this more or less is focusing more on the SEED program. Next, Greg. So the chairman, we have Datuk Sainay, and we have the vice chairman, Father Aloy, and Rector Mangadar, so executive director, yours truly. Then we have the deputy executive director, our dear friend here, Fernando. Secretary is Dr. Diana. Treasurer is Dr. Teresa. And then the auditor is Dr. Titek. And the legal advisor is Rector John. So I did not read through the details because more or less we know each other, and those have been given through communications and in other documents that we received. So next, Greg. So the institutional members officially are the following. So we have highlighted here Indonesia, and then we have Parayangan Catholic University, University of Bengkulu, Indonesia International Institute for Life Sciences, and we have Calbis. Prof. Bambang, this came from the official files of Dr. Wee. However, well noted in our historical brief and documentation that ITB is one of our founding institutions. So most welcome to be back, since annually we are having this kind of registration for the existing and new members for the network. So next. So we have the ALN organs based on our Article 6. We have the General Assembly. Then we have the ExCon. The members were enumerated earlier. Then we have the Board of Auditors. So discussing the network chapters, I looked through our Article of Association. There's no provision on the creation of the chapter for the network, given the different institutions, members in the different countries. So noted, as I've mentioned earlier, we have 4, majority in Indonesia, Malaysia 3, Philippines 2, Thailand 3, and Vietnam 1. So earlier I mentioned that in discussing this about chapter activities, it's best to showcase or share what we're done in the past. In the past, since we started 2009, all activities of the different member universities of the different country chapters. We had then Malaysia and Philippines to start off. We were all focused on the SEED program. So annually, each university or each chapter would work together and then come up with the SEED program for that year. Talking about the Philippine chapter, there is the La Salle University and San Beda as members of the chapter. What we usually do is during those past years, we exchange messages, we communicate, and we send participants to our organized program. Let us say San Beda organized SEED, and we send all together participants to the different countries organizing the SEED. And definitely, if there are some kind of activities that might be of interest even outside the SEED program or ALN network, we try to think if it's appropriate and we send it to our different faculties or departments for them to participate. So we try to work closely together. At this time, we have a Vice President Fritchie of the Lasallian Mission, now active with the ALN. She actually expressed that she is interested with research and publication if in case we're really going to push through with this project. In the past, if Bambang here, Professor Bambang, and I'm not quite sure if Fernando will be able to recall, we have Prof. Melegrito joining us in the different SEED programs in the different countries. So that's part of our agreement that if there are specific activities in the different countries where members of the ALN are organizing activities, we make it a point to join. So what we're done in the past, as I've mentioned, so we focus on the SEED program annually. I looked at the records since we started with ITB. So Indonesia has the most number of SEED programs. Look, we had 12 SEED programs. Out of that, ITB organized 9, and UNPAR, congratulations, you organized 3. So for Malaysia, they organized 5 for that period. For the Philippines, also 5. And then Thailand, 3. And Vietnam, 3. Okay. So next. So this is our SEED area or SEED communities. Fernando was here long time ago. And notably, I think their village is here at the top of the mountain. I'm not quite sure anymore, Fernando, whether it's here, but the 9 villages were more or less distributed in this area. So we're trying to help up, and the different representatives, student representatives and lecturers from different partner universities of the ALN are usually participating in the 5 SEED programs that we have had. So this another perspective of the area. So one, as I mentioned, is on top of the mountain. So it's very interesting to really work closely in the context of what the villagers are experiencing, problems in many areas. So in the SEED program, majority of us have experienced it. Towards the end, there is this presentation with the local government officials and some experts on some of the different projects done. So in this picture, we have here our friend from UMK, now with PSU, Professor Farouk. And then we have here one of our friends from UMK also, Prof. Nastor. And we have our participant from the Philippines and one from, I guess, from Thailand. And we have Rafi here on the side. So usually there are groupings wherein the different representatives were distributed. So it will really be a cross-cultural and multicultural group. Okay, so here we have our friend Dr. Kitek, because for each group in the SEED program, we have the local facilitator partnering with the foreign invited facilitator. So Prof. Kitek here is one of our facilitators. And Fernando was invited as well as one of our foreign facilitators after he did his initial participation years back. So we had the 2017 SEED Philippines. So this is the area. So next. So this was in 2016 again. Usually we do it in August for a 2-week program. Then next. So we have here Fernando, the first time he came here. As I mentioned earlier, for the different groups, we make it sure that they will be composed of individuals, students coming from different countries. So we have here Fernando, then we have here from Switzerland, we have here from the Philippines, one from Japan, one from the Philippines, one from Thailand, one from Malaysia, and our dear friend, my associate before, Mr. Joel Villamor. So the grouping is composed of representatives from different member universities. So it will really be a good learning experience. So we have a newsletter. So what happens usually are published in the newsletter of the office. So we had the first SEED conference. Fernando, well, he came back to the Philippines for the SEED conference and presented a paper 2 years after he came as a delegate to the SEED program. So next. So the country chapters then, discussion points, most important after the intro. So how do we go about strengthening the country chapters? So review past activities. So the question now is, pre-pandemic, we're focused on the SEED program, and we have had a few conferences with partners, ALN conferences with partners. So then, what is the model of the network country chapter then? ALN has no specified model or guidelines in coming up with a country chapter. So let me share a sample international network with country chapter. They have this guideline. This network has been established years back in 1956. So there is a National Council Philippines where Sanbeda is very active, and where I am also representing Sanbeda in this National Council. So this is the guideline. A country may establish a national council consisting of representatives from its member institution. So for example, for Indonesia, you have 4. So there can be a national chapter, or what this organization calls National Council. So then it may carry out programs approved by the General Conference and the Administrative Board, and subject to the approval by the Administrative Board, and the Council may initiate local activities. So we usually communicate well with the head organization, with the network, on the possible activities that we'll be having for the Philippine Council. And in terms of funding and the budget, we also communicate with the head network. So it may receive and retain funds subject to the board's approval. National councils have been set up in Indonesia, we have in Malaysia, and the Philippines and Thailand, where there exists a large number of member institutions. So that's something to think about. Then international organization, The local chapter have their own organizational structure. The National Council, we have also the president. We also have the Board of Trustees. We also have the chair. We have the secretary. We have the treasurer as well. So it depends on the chapter, but subject to the approval of the head organization. So as I mentioned earlier, program, project, activity planning, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, resources, and funds are communicated to the head network. So sample of international networks with no country chapter. We have a number of networks, as I mentioned earlier, where there are no country chapter. So we just simply depend on the international network head office. Usually it's the Secretary General or it's the Executive Director who more or less will provide the different activities for the year. Usually it's one or two activities wherein the network members, would participate. Rector Mangadar, I'm sure he is so aware of the Asyaku. We met the first time in the Asyaku, is the Association of Southeast Asian Catholic Colleges and Universities. So this is one sample network wherein I haven't had the opportunity to really look into if there is a country chapter. Years back, I think in 2013 or 2014, when we met in Thailand for a conference, usually we have an annual conference, just one annual conference organized by the network. There was this initial talk of possible country chapters focusing on specific activities, but nothing were communicated further. So other matters, as mentioned by Fernando, this can be the discussion point later with the groups or the members of the Indonesian chapter. So proposed activities basically, as mentioned, based on our mission and vision. So academics, research, and community service. So we can organize virtual or in-person conferences, symposia, or we have workshops, trainings, lecture sessions, researches, publications, or we can focus on virtual or in-person programs for administrators, faculty, staff, and students. And may I repeat what Rector Magadar mentioned about Campus Merdeka? It might or it could fall into this program. Perhaps even with a concern of in-person activities, perhaps you can start off initially with the virtual program for the students of the members of ALN. So we have here the virtual or in-person participation member universities activities. So it will be great if in case each member will be having his or her own activity in the university. It will be excellent if you can invite all other members or if you can invite our network to participate or to be of help. I'd like to congratulate UNPAR, Rector Mangadar, and Fernando for initiating the manifesto and inviting us as well to take part in it. So it's one specific activity or program wherein we can share to other members aside from an official and regular program that we can think about for the future. So thank you so much. Terima kasih, my dear, respected, and honorable colleagues from Indonesia.
Thank you, Prof. Tita, for your sharing. Before we begin our discussion with Prof. Tita, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Rector Retno from Bengkulu. Welcome,
dear
Bu Retno.
Prof. Retno.
Okay, so now after here, Prof. Tita share about the ALN in brief and also the Philippine chapter. I think it's the time for us to discuss about the initiation or the creation of the Indonesian chapter. I think let's have an open discussion, maybe. Maybe before that, Pak Bambang would like to share something, or because Pak Bambang initially one of the founding member of the ALN since 29, if I'm not mistaken, Pak Bambang, right?
2007 actually.
Oh,
It's one of the
2007.
originals.
2007, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very old. Yeah, I
Let
know
us compute.
from Philippines, I forgot is Mr. De Jesus, right? From San Beda, maybe.
Yeah, Father Mateo de Jesus. He's
Yeah,
now in
Padre
the
Mateo de Jesus.
US. He's now in the US.
Oh, now in the US.
Yes.
And I found him in the La Salle. Yeah. Moved from San Beda to the La Salle.
Father
And-
Mateo?
Yes.
No,
No.
no. He went to USA from
Okay.
San Beda. Maybe he
And-
just visited De La Salle.
Okay.
So Prof. Bambang is one of our advisors, being one of the senior members of the
Faro. Professor
ALN,
Faro.
with Professor
Farouk,
Farouk
yeah, we still
and
have Farouk.
Dato. Yeah, and Dato Sainai.
And
Yeah.
that also Dato Jainai.
Dato,
I
yeah.
didn't hear from Brunei Darussalam. Prof. Tita, you know him?
Yeah, I tried to contact them for a while, but he's
Yeah.
not in the international office. He was promoted to another position.
Okay.
Yeah. Good to reconnect with
Okay.
Brunei. Yes.
Brunei is one of our friend there.
Yes.
Thank you, Fernando. Please continue our discussion. Maybe I have experienced a lot of missing in my mind because of yeah. Actually, this seed program involved in the community project lecture in SPM ITB, and then put into this program. How to get the money? The money from the student is come from the student did for before integrated business experience, and then from integrated business experience they have a lot of money, and then go to the village and then seed program, and then we invite for a lot of the university from outside, actually from Philippines, Vietnam, and also from Australia, Victoria University, and so on. That is, I think it's the good experience for cross-cultural in economic. And then they only one thinking about how to build the village in local village in Indonesia at that time. And then if that is a key, if is for example is Philippines want to build the local community, I think this is very good from the lot of the idea from the other countries, and then looking at the situation, looking at the finding the social problem, and also we can build together. So this is the good experience, yeah. And then I got the experience from Kelantan and so on, from Hajjai in Thailand, and also Philippines, and also in Vietnam. There are a lot of the same things, same condition with Indonesia, especially in Thailand, is same condition in Indonesia. Yeah, that is a good experience. Okay, Pak Fernando, please continue.
Yes, so we will have open discussion. Maybe Pak Rektor Mangadar, do you have any opinion about our formation, the Indonesian chapter of ALN?
Well, thank you, Fernando. Because we have Pak Bambang, yeah, Pak Bambang, and also Pak John. Yeah, Pak Bambang, again, he has a lot of huge experience, yeah, since from the very beginning, yeah, up to 2020s, yeah, or 90s, yeah, sharing with us, yeah. because it is Pak Bambang asked us, encouraged us to join UNPAR, encourage UNPAR to join also this program. And would be very good, if Pak Bambang kindly share with us, about, let's say, the benefit of joining this network. And also Pak John, because Pak John is, Prof. Tita already mentioned, Pak John is our legal head, of this network. Pak John already get the soul, the core of our network, even through the kind of, let's say, legal point of view, but he knows it very well. So Pak Bambang, Pak John from Kalbis proposed our legal approval of the use of ASEAN. So the ASEAN term already approved by ASEAN Secretariat. Is it true, Pak John? Yeah, Pak John already discussed it with the Secretariat of ASEAN. So it is already accepted officially, legally, to use the ASEAN Learning Network. So I thought Mas Fer, Pak Bambang and Pak John will share with us and see, for us to see the benefit or the opportunities or the chance to share with, to work together in this kind of, let's say, association in ASEAN region. So please, Pak Bambang, kindly again share with us, about the spirit, the vision, for us to get joined. Please, Pak Bambang.
Okay. Let me to share the screen first. That is I put from last time ago, maybe. I forgot.
So you still keep it, Pak Bambang?
Yeah, I still keep it. But this is a good experience. Yeah, when this is observation. Is the part of the methodology I gave to the student. This is student from Germany, from Switzerland, and so from Holland and so on. That is in Garut, in the West Java. Interview, I don't know who interviewed got here, and then she got the dissertation. That is PhD, before PhD, they're doing something in Ciwidey, and then doing involved in the SEED program, and then from the SEED, she also already get the dissertation to get the program. This is I don't know. Right now, I found her in Vietnam. Dr. Tita, Professor Tita, you know her. This is from Banking University, and also this guy, the international institution from Vietnam, Banking University.
Banking University.
Yeah, I remember their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
many years ago.
Yeah. Okay, this is many years ago. Now is already lecturer, and I don't know is already married or not until now.
The girl is, I think, is Dr. N.
Dr. N.
Ann
Dr.
from
Ann.
banking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. This is the cross culture. How to the strategy for improving the economic in the villager. They join together. Using the craft. This is like a Muslim, because a lot of people in the village in CV there is a Muslim, and then there is participant observation, something like that, and then join together between the Malaysia and also Indonesia and Vietnam and Switzerland. This is in Pangalengan. Remember Dr. Tita in Pangalengan? This is nice situation when the cooperation in that area. They have the result of this program. I think is very useful because the one of the economic problem in Pangalengan in one village, and then a lot of the students come together, sharing the ideas, and then apply their ideas to the community. That is a good result until now. Then in the first time, it's very we very hard to involve to enter the community, and then after that it's very hard to move to another area because it's very close. We use the ethnographic research, yeah, that is, and because of we put into also with the lecture about the community program lecture. That is the focus group discussion, and then the other thing. Okay, that is, yeah, it's another example. Yeah, let me share another. This is like a seed program actually. The seed program, the first time we identified the people's social economic condition in small business already there. It's like in Kelantan at that time. In Kelantan also we identified the small business in around of I don't know what the name of area in the Kelantan, and we used as the social mapping to identify what the problem, yeah, what the problem in that community, in that village, from looking at the people behavior because of language is very different, and then even in Indonesia from Indonesia language in the village, yeah, I think Fernando also have experience about that because Sundanese people, not all of the Sundanese can speak Indonesia. Yeah, that is why we only look at the people behavior, and some of the member of the seed program also can speak Sundanese, and then we can grab the people social capital. After that, the cross-cultural relation between members of SEEDS participant from the Switzerland, from Kelantan, and from the all of the country in the ASEAN, also thinking about the idea what the strategy for build that people together to create business plan for people after doing observation and interview in village. And after that, the finally increasing people's social economic condition. That is good. And then this is very, very a good result in Pangalengan. Pangalengan is the one of the results from seed program and also from the community project lecture. That is the time of for seed at that time. The first day, surface identification, walk around, permit, and team planning, and so that's just looking, just finding, just playing, just make a game with the community, playing football and so on. And the second day, understand people, depth observation, doing something, only looking at the behavior. And then also stakeholder identification, and then third day, potential issue, depth interview. That is very hard to get the depth interview, yeah, because of the language, again, language. Participation, by doing participation with the empathy map, yeah, we create the empathy map, how they feel, something like that, because with the empathy map, that is the universal methodology. And the fourth day, generating issue, focus group discussion. We already know who is the key informant, and then we get the key informant and creating either between us to the community. That is the key. And then 5 ideas implementation, detailed strategy and consideration if needed. And then the 6-day further research concept, guidance, idea, further research suggestion. Exactly in the further research suggestion is following with the lecture about the community project program in SPM. The next years, that is the class for doing something. Yeah, that is the start from seed program and then continue by the other lecture. That is. Thank you very much, Pak Fernando. This is my experience in 2 times of seed program. Actually, in Indonesia, especially in ITB, I forgot to count how many seed program in Indonesia. I don't know. I forgot 9 times or 12. I forgot this time because we in the final project of seed. This is the grand seed. The grand seed is the big. We invite from student from Australia and not the member of ALN. Yeah, then join together. We start for another idea, another broad idea. That is Pak Mangadar. This is
Thank you.
my experience. Thank you
very much.
Thank you
Yeah.
very
Thank you.
much, Pak Bambang. Okay, since some of our colleagues here, they need to join another meeting. Before we proceed to our discussion, for more discussion, let's take a picture first, since we are still complete here. Maybe please, the other who hasn't turned on their camera, please turn on so we can have our documentation for today's meeting, because it's very rare occasion that I think all of Indonesian institutions join here today. Okay, we have also Ibu Ade, Raffi, Greg, and also I think Mr. Gustav mungkin.
Better if we rewrite the rename again, the real name and the institution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that is. I think is a very. My name Bambang Rito from ITB, for example.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
something like that.
So we can remember our okay.
Yeah, you remember where I come from.
Yes.
We'll not forget you, of course.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's okay. Because the station in Manila is my name also. Professor Tita. Station Bambang, right?
Okay, I will.
So the name of the school will be after. So I'm going to change mine.
Okay.
I rename myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you take the picture, Fernando, I thought we will be great to listen to Pak John again for all of us get more clear understanding about our network.
Okay, okay. I will take picture first, then later on we can give to Pak John to share about this. Okay, I'll count 1, 2, and 3. I think better to have the second photos. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, done. I'm done taking picture. So I'll give the screen to Pak John. Please.
All right, thank you so much, Fernando, and hi again, Prof. Mangadar, and then also Prof. Tita, Prof. Bambang. It's nice to hear the treasury of informations from you. And actually, I'm coming from the same city, from Bandung as well.
Okay.
So we have a hometown, the same hometown. All right. So I just recall the idea of making the country chapter. I recall my first meeting with Dato' Zainai at that time, around 2020, I think, yeah. So I tried to get my presentations at that time when I have meeting with Dato' Zainai. So here my presentations to him. At that time, Sir Dato Zainai asked me to join in this network, and I already observe and study about this network, and I have 3 suggestions to Dato Zainai at that time. You can see here, this is my last presentations on 2020. There's 3 initiatives, actions plan that have to be taken at that time. First is, do we have a legal authorizations to use ASEAN's name? That's my first questions at that time. If we don't have any legal substance or basis to using the name of Asian, so we have to proceed this, because this is really related to copyrights and all legal matters at that time. So I urgently asked to Dato Zainai to proceed this. Second one is about the domicile. I'm asking about the office domicile. Where is our office domicile at that time? If we are looking to our article of associations, maybe Pak Bambang can help me to recall this. The office domicile is in Switzerland, if I'm mistaken. Yeah?
Yeah.
But our network is Asians. So actually, it is really relevant if we put our office domicile or headquarters in Asian country at the time. So I proposed to Dato Zainai at the time, hey, let's to select to pick, or maybe do we have any alternate office domicile at that time? So I proposed this structure. We have head office and we have branch office in every country that having members. Yeah. So for example, we have head office in Malaysia, and this head office can be changed every 5 years. Yeah. According to who is the chairman at that time, in my discussions with Dato Zainai. So we have branch office in country number 1, 2, 3, or 4, like Indonesians, Philippines, Malaysians, and any other countries. And in every country, we have a representative office which located in every campuses. So for example, in Indonesia, we have office of Indonesian chapter, and we have representative office in every campus. For example, in Unpar office, Kalbis office, Bengkulu office, for example, like that. This is the second. And also I asked to Dato Zainai at the time how we can distribute the authorities, because we have headquarters, we have office in every country. So how we can divide or distribute the authorities? So I designed this matrix, and I hope at the time Dato can help to define this structure and also the matrix. The third point that I suggest to Dato Zainai at the time is ratifications on the office registrations about the article of associations. Every country have its own legal basis. In Indonesia, if we develop an organizations, non-profit organization, we want, if we want to make this a legal organization, so we have to register it. Yeah, we have to divide it through a public notary. I don't know what is the practice, the best practice in another country, but since we are in Asians, I think most likely is the same as or similar legal practice. So we should register the ALN in every country. So that's why number 2 is actually we have to define the country chapter office, and then we do this number 3, ratifications. So this is the basis why I at that time proposing to Dato Zainai to start thinking to make the office domicile at that time. So I have another opportunity as well after we succeed to legally to use the name of Asians. Now this is our part to revise the article of associations. So one of the topic at that time I proposed in our executive meeting is this Article 2 about headquarters and durations. The exact sentence in this Article 2 is the organization's headquarters is located in blah 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 in Switzerland. The existence of the association shall be 50 years with the right of successions. So I propose to be changed. The below part is my suggestions. Number one, because it's previously or our current article of associations have two sentences actually. In my proposal, there are three sentences. The first sentence is about the headquarters locations. I propose to relocate the headquarters from Swiss to Asian country. Yeah, and actually at that time, among other already give concerns to change the name of headquarters to be changed to, if I'm mistaken, to the Secretariat Office, if I'm mistaken. Is this true, Mangadar?
Yeah, yes.
A Secretariat Office, not headquarters anymore. And after that, we add on the article associations is the country chapter office. Yeah. In order to support the operation of the organization's Secretariat Office, General Assembly may appoint the country chapter office in country of each member of organizations. And number three, I also propose the new things here about the durations of our organizations, not limited to 50 years, but it will be remain in perpetuity. Yeah, so there's no limitations of years. So based on these slides, I really agree on what Pamangada said before, and also I want to follow what our colleagues from Philippines already done this. Yeah, we have to make a country chapters, and after the Indonesian country chapters already developed, we can ask also from another country to have the same thing. So it will be aligned between the changes on our article of associations, and actually in every country there's already developed the country chapter. So I hope this meeting can be a good start for us to at least we are agree on to developing the country chapter of Indonesia, and after that we can make the distributions of authorizations, who will be the committee of this Indonesian chapter, and then how we can reorganize. I think if we can succeed to develop this country chapter, the collaborations between university in Indonesia can be more robust, can be more powerful. Yeah, so Kalbis can have connections to Bengkulu, to Unpar, and I think it will be affect also to our accreditations in Indonesia. Yeah? Both for the institutions accreditations, also for study program accreditation. So it will be powerful and beneficial for us as well. So I really hope this meeting will be a good start for us on agreeing to develop the Indonesia country chapter. So that's all from me, Fernando. And thank you again, Mangada, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Pak John.
Thank you, Pak John. Maybe next, can we hear like opinion from Rector Retno from Bengkulu? Maybe if you around, Bu.
Yeah, we are very great that Ibu Rector, Ibu Retno from University of Bengkulu is joining us also. So it would be great to have our ideas or sharing, yeah, about our ALN.
Okay, we're still waiting for Ibu Retno. Maybe since maybe I think we are all agree that we need the ALN Indonesian country chapter. So in forming forming one, I think we need to do like a create caretaker to have our initiative, so it can be proceed for the next level, maybe, because if we have a country chapter, we need like the legal aspect and etc. I think we need like task force to do it.
Yeah, Pak Fernando, I think it is good if we can define the task force team, yeah, and this task force team can define the steps and also the design of the Indonesia country chapter. I think I agree with that, Pak Fernando. So I give the opportunity as well for my organizations here to take part of this development of Indonesia country chapter. So I'm willing to be in this task force, and I think our partners from I3L as well can be joining in the task force. Yeah, I think because we want really to make it happen, yeah, the Indonesia country chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, Bu Titik is already for a long time with us also. Bu Titik probably can share also.
Yeah,
Bu
Bu Titik.
Ketiga, yeah, already with us, Fernando. Yeah, how to, the point is again, is how to bring our ALN, yeah, in progress, yeah, how to develop our network, especially when we talk about our chapter, Indonesian chapter within ALN. Bu Titik, will be great to hear your experience.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Mangadar, to allow me to speak a little. Yeah, I think UNIP got in ALN network was in 2017 or 18. We since the time we really want to have seat, and we also learn from other university who have seats before, and also in Indonesian itself, I think ITB also Pak Bambang, Pak Leo also invited us when they have a seat. But then we have, some, if I can say problem, but it should be like it's not institutionalized like the other networks. So some of the students who want to join the seat, even though I remember, was that you, Pak Bambang, offer some, scholarship from UNIP if they want to join the seat, about 2 students, was that something like that, the last one before the pandemic, and we failed to join actually. And then I think on my virtual LN meeting in 2020, I think, still the previous rector, Prof. Ridwan Nurasi, and also the vice rector, the first vice rector also attended at the meeting, and he actually support UNIP to have seat. But again, and like pandemic strike,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
we actually, I think the university already put some money to prepare for the seat project during Dr. Dedi Bu Ade ya. Dr. Dedi already prepare for the money, and also
Yeah.
I at the time also think about to invite you know, expert from ITB, from UNPA, to like assist us to prepare. And also we really wants to, at the time we really want to invite some friends from the Philippines, from Thailand, from Malaysia, but up to now we still have like dream to have seed project. And I hope with the new position of Rector Retno, and also here I see the Vice Rector Prof. Irfan Gustian, and also Dr. Ade present at this meeting. So I hope that UNIP will have the seed project, and also will support the Indonesian chapter for ALN, because it's I think this will benefit to the students, to the staffs, and also for the university. I think that's all I can say, Prof.
Thank you.
Mangadar. Thank you so
very
much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Titi. Thank you very much. I
Thank
think
you, Prof. Bambang.
COVID is a little bit, but the spirit maybe we have to follow. It's another strategy. I use just to try, because the spirit of the seed program is going to somewhere and going to the village, and then build something idea and then send to the village. But I think I already tried. It's about using. And usual, we use the ethnography methodology, but something like along the virus, we change with ethnography, use the computer, and then we can virtual, yeah, we can join with another university by using ethnography. But in that practice, maybe this is good work, but not feeling. Still not get the feeling, but I think we can join together by using ethnography, and then the network still we can build the networking between university like that. All right, Pak Fernando, maybe we can join by using netno, but I hope the real field is the spirit of the seed program.
Yeah.
Still there.
Okay, thank you, Pak Bambang.
Thank you, Bu Titi. Thank you, Pak Bambang.
Yeah.
And also, we are open for any kind of, let's say, question or for further information to make clear, about our network. And also, of course, before probably Prof. Irfan. Prof. Irfan, thank you again for joining us, Vice Rector from UNIP. That's great. So if you want to say something, or other friends from I3L, Pingan probably want to say something or asking question or whatever. For us to make it clear about our network. We have Prof. Tita here. We have Pak Bambang. We have Bu Titi and Pak John. So we may share the information again for us to make our ALN moving forward. So please. Pingan, still unmute.
Thank you, Pak Mangadar, for the opportunities, and me representing I3L. I'm very glad and very delighted, very honored as well to be invited in the to be one of the members in the Indonesian chapter. I personally myself, from the beginning when I went to Johor Bahru, I think the first time I joined the meeting as an observer, I was caught, I personally caught by the spirit of ALN, and I was I was delighted, and actually is an great opportunity. I was sitting often with Bu Titi, next to Bu Titi in the bus, and we talked a lot about ALN, and it really resonated with my vision as an academician, and now I believe as well as ITREL's vision and mission. And so as Pak John mentioned, that together with Kalbis, we are ready and will always be ready to support the activities and the programs that ALN Indonesian chapter will conduct or organize. And for your reference and information, some of the programs actually we do it. We've been doing it in I3L, and we are planning to do it together with Kalbis in the upcoming months in October. We call it ISPBM. So we organize it with our partner in Switzerland, FHNW. And yeah, it's actually an integrated conference on Eurasia Pacific business management. But the original idea came from our partners from Switzerland, from FHNW, or University of Applied Sciences in Northwestern Switzerland. It's actually part of their course. They call it Eurasia Pacific Enrichment Economy, EEE. So it's very similar with SEED, but yeah, we don't actually go to the village, yeah, unfortunately. But what we are planning to do this year, this coming October, we're going to do it in Labuan Bajo, and we surveyed a village there, and yeah, the activities are actually similar with what SEED has been doing, and with Spirit of SEED. If you allow me to share a video of it, Pa Fernando and other, that would be nice.
Okay, no
Sure,
problem. I
please.
think we still have time.
Okay. It's gonna be a 1-minute video. So, okay, I'll try to share. Oh, sorry. Is it frozen? Like
It's
freeze?
frozen.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
freeze. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Something wrong with the laptop, but yeah, I can always share it with you, all of you, the Google Drive. So yeah, give it back to Pak Mangarar or Pak Fernando. Thank you.
Please send to Fernando. Yeah, that's great. Yes, it's very short. It shows something very interesting, very exciting. So thank you, Pinka.
Yeah, you're welcome, Pak.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think we still have another 10 minutes. I think maybe it's the best for us to perhaps each institution can assign maybe 2 representatives to be the caretaker to prepare for the formation of the Indonesian ALN Indonesian chapter. Maybe how about that? I think.
Yeah, so we can proceed it. We can go through. Yeah. So every institution, yeah, from UNPA, it is already Fernando here, or Theo, or Mbak Sylvia, from UNIP, probably Bu Ade, yeah, or Bu Titi. We are not, yeah, sure about that. Yeah, from I3L and Kalbis. So the idea is to have candidates, let's say candidate or nominees to. The point is to try to get formulate our Indonesian chapter within ALN. Is it the point, yeah, Pak Fernando? Yeah.
Yes, yes, Pak. So after we have formed our task force, then maybe later on, within like 2 months, we gather again to hear the presentation of the team. So we can proceed. Perhaps the Indonesian chapter can be presented during the ALN next AGM. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we call it AGM, right, Dr. Tita now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the coming AGM.
As I've mentioned in my chat box, so Indonesia chapter will then become the model, given the effort that you will be doing for the ALN. And with Rector Jan as our advisor for the legal concerns, so it's excellent, especially when he mentioned about registration, because the example of the international network that I mentioned, where we have a country chapter in the Philippines, it's registered locally. So the National Council Philippines is registered under Philippine law, in addition to the international registration and recognition. So that's something to look at.
Yeah, that's good, because somehow the public can give us questions. Who are you?
Yes,
right?
yes.
The questions is, who are you? And then we are answering, like I3L or Kalbi say, we are ALN, we are Asian Learning Network. So everybody will ask our identity. What is your identity? Where is your legal standing? What is your legal basis? Where is it? Are you a legal organizations or not? Yeah. So that's the basic question. So why I suggest to make it register in every country, including in Indonesia. Thank you, Prof. Tita.
Okay, but maybe we cannot, or others institution maybe needs internal meeting first to assign who will be joining the caretaker or the task force. So maybe let's do this circulate by through email first. Please send me, maybe I will handle this for a while before the caretaker or task force is formed. Please send me an email about who will be the representative. Maybe I think two is enough. Two representative from each member institution who will be who will join the caretaker team, I think.
So is it okay to everyone? So need to appoint two representative from every university to join the task force.
Yeah, from Kalbis, yes.
Thank you. Unip, Ibu Titi, or Ibu Rektor, atau Prof. Irfan?
Bu Titi saja.
Bu Ade.
Yes.
Bu Ade.
You can have your own discussion first. Who will be joining us?
Yeah, Bu Ade. We have to meet first.
All right.
Yes.
Bu Titi have more experience.
No, we have to talk first.
All right. Okay. Thank you. And I3L?
Yes, Pak.
Ibu Iren?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So maybe within a week, I think. So don't make it too long. Within a week, I'm expecting to already receive the email from each institution, so I can report back to us about the task force. Then later on, let the task force define their own time schedule, and perhaps within 2 months time, so after the Hari Raya, after Lebaran, we can meet again to have our follow-up meeting for this.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay,
so just before we come to the end of our meeting, just want to address one issue. Initially, it is from Pak John. when you talk about the person or the structural in person of our ALN, Prof. Tita, the idea is how to bring students get involved in the organizational, not just in running seed program, but also to manage, because I saw the very basic idea, as Pak Bambang already told us about the engagement, the student engagement. It is student-centered learning process. So I thought we have to give more space, more opportunity to our students, yeah, to run, to organize our network. It is not saya, I myself, or Prof. Tita, or Prof. John, Pak John, or Bu Titi, who decide something for student, but the student, let them, the student decide anything according to their interest. This is the very basic ideas. Yeah, so it is the issue that might be need to discuss in near next meeting, Prof. Tita. Yeah. So I thought it is also good for representative from different university to think about how to bring our students get more involved in this program. Prof. John, Pak John want to add something?
Thank you so much, Pak Mangada, to remind us about these suggestions. Yeah, at that time I have my personal discussions with Prof. Mangada about this. So the idea, the original idea is how we can activate the students in these organizations, because the students is really powerful. They also creative. They have more energy than us. So why don't we empower? Yeah, the terminology maybe I will use is empower the students for Asians Learning Network, because you know, sometimes if we doing our authorities in this ALN by ourselves, sometimes we need more time, right? Even for this meeting, we have to propose the schedule, and in our really tight schedule, we have to put efforts. Yeah. So how if we ask the students to come in and also can represent us? They have more energy than us. So the idea from Prof. Mangadar and also from me is how we can activate the students into these organizations. If I may share this, I promise it's not more than 1 minute. Yeah, this is the organs of our organizations in ALN. The General Assembly, you may look the above parts: the General Assembly, the Executive Committee, and the Board of Auditors. Yeah. But right now, if we already have the country chapter office, so we will have the Executive Committee of country chapter. So we will put another organs in our structures. And if it is possible, we can put some students executive committee. I don't know what is named, but the students can be added on the organs as well. So the students will be actively act, and actively they can do some parts for this ALN. So the students not the object, but the students is the subject. So let's change this. Students is not as an object our of research or our development, but they really act as a subject as well in our organizations. That's the idea. Thank you so much again, Prof. Mangadar, to remind me about this really good idea. But I give it back to the executive committee, Prof. Tita and Pak Fernando, about this idea how to react for these suggestions. Thank you so much, Prof. Tita.
Thank you. Well, again, the issue probably will be discussed later, Prof. Tita, yeah, in our next meeting. But the
Yes.
idea is to give chance to our student to manage or to organize our ALN. So probably Fernando, from those each university, probably they nominate or propose also one student, yeah, as part of the university PIC or task force. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Actually, my dear rector's excellent mention about student participation. Way back in 2017 or 2018, in San Beda, many students were so interested with the SEED program that they would wanted to participate. So initially, we think of having an ALN student organization from among them. But there is this restriction initially on having student members in the ALN. So that is something to think about.
Yeah,
But
sure.
then, excellent then, if Rector John, you made mention of having student representatives in the executive committee per country chapter. So then we can welcome them as active participants and active organizers of our different activities, not only for the SEED.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Prof. Tita. So
I
Yeah.
think it will be
Thank you.
discussed later on in our
Yeah.
maybe EXCO meeting or AGM meeting. I think it's one is interesting topics.
Interesting, yes. Even the alumni, they're interested. Prof. Bambang,
Yeah.
they're interested to participate. The alumni here, they carried through that transformational thing, the spirit of working with the communities. So they still would want to participate.
thank you.
Okay. I think we already passed 2 minutes from our
Yes.
schedule. I'm
Our
very sorry
schedule.
for lateness, but it's very fruitful discussion today.
Yes,
We heard the
agree.
story about history about the ALN from Pak Bambang and also Prof. Tita about it, and also about the legal aspects from Rector John. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I'm waiting for the 2 representative, maybe 3 with the students if we want to involve the student, or maybe next the caretaker team will have their own meeting and do the scheduling, and after that within 2 months times we will meet again to have the presentation about the formation of Indonesian ALN chapter. I think that's all it. Prof. Tita, do you have any closing statement?
So I simply would like to thank and reiterate again my appreciation to the Indonesia member universities of ALN for this great initiative to really push through with many possible incoming projects for the network. So thank you so much to all the dear rectors and all representatives coming from the different member universities. We will always be here to support you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prof. Tita.
Thank you very much. So we have come to end of our meeting. Thank you very much. See you in 2 months then. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, Pak
Good